The world's first known poet. The princess. The priest. Enheduanna. Enheduanna is widely considered as the world's first known author or poet. She belongs to the ancient Mesopotamia, lived in the 23rd century BC, approximately 2285 BC to 2250 BC. Mesopotamia is a Greek word, meaning between two rivers. It was the land between the Tigris and the Euphrates rivers, and of the place of several ancient civilizations those days. It now corresponds to Western Asia, mostly today's Iraq, Kuwait, and the eastern parts of Syria, southeastern Turkey, and regions along the Turkish-Syrian and Iran-Iraq borders.
In those days, Mesopotamia's civilization refers to the kingdoms ruled by Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. Sumerians are the people of Sumer. Sumer is the earliest known, and one of the first civilizations, in the world. Akkadians built the first ancient empire of Mesopotamia. Around 2900 BC to 2350 BC, after the long-lived Sumerian civilization. Akkadian and Sumerian speakers were united under one rule. Assyrians are also Mesopotamia's ethnic group, in the Middle East during, possibly, around the 25th century BC. Babylonians were ancient Akkadian-speaking people of central southern Mesopotamia, emerged in 1894 BC.
Enheduanna was the daughter of the Akkadian emperor, Sargon the Great. Her mother was, probably, Queen Tashlultum. Sargon is identified as the first ruler of the Akkadian Empire, perhaps the first to rule over an empire, as per recorded history. He established the vast Akkadian kingdom, with his conquests of the Sumerian city-states, in the 24th to 23rd centuries BC. The city of Akkad becomes one of the largest in the world. And northern and southern Mesopotamia were united, for the first time in history. Jabiru, at Ur, was Enheduanna's main residence. She was the first known woman to hold the title of En, appointed by her father King Sargon. In Mesopotamia's civilization, a great political importance was often given to royal daughters, with the title of En.
Her father Sargon offered her another appointment, as the high priestess of the goddess Inanna. And the moon god Nana soon at the temples in Ur, in modern-day southern Iraq. Moon god is called Nana by Sumerians, and Sun, or Sin, by Akkadians. Enheduanna means ornament of heaven, which reflects the celestial nature of her occupation as high priestess. In the ancient world, there was male domination in the areas of scribes or writers. But, in the rich literary history of Mesopotamia, her works form an important part. She composed several hymns and myths. Most of her work is available in translation at the Electronic Text Corpus of Sumerian Literature, ETCSL, at the Oriental Institute of the University of Oxford, in Britain. Enheduanna composed 42 hymns, addressing the temples across Sumer and Akkad empires. This collection is known as the Sumerian Temple Hymns. The important one is about the goddess Inanna. Titled The Exaltation of Inunda, or Nin Messer Are. A contemporary poetic adaptation of it by the author, Cass Dalglish, of Minnesota, was published in 2008.
She dedicated her works to the goddess Inanna. Goddess Inanna is the daughter of moon god Nana in Mesopotamian myths. Inanna is an ancient Mesopotamian goddess of love, beauty, sex, war, justice and political power. Sumerians worship her to acquire power and fortune. Ishtar was another name of Inanna, given by Akkadians, Babylonians, and Assyrians. The Exaltation of Inunda also describes Enheduanna's expulsion from Ur. During the reign of her brother Remush, suspecting her in some form of political turmoil. She was eventually reinstated in that post later. Her hymns and myths were written in cuneiform. Cuneiform is an ancient form of writing, using clay tablets. Archaeological and textual sources reveal that 2 seals have been excavated at the royal cemetery at Ur, bearing her name, belonging to her servants, and dating to the Sargonic period. An alabaster disc was also excavated in the Jipuru, at Ur, bearing her name and likeness.
The originality and authorship of her works is clearly asserted by her temple hymns. In those hymns, Enheduanna states,
"My king, something has been created that no one has created before."
She also comments on the difficulties of the creative process, apparently, writer's block. Her written works are deeply personal in subject, containing numerous biographical features. She describes that she spent long hours over her compositions by night, so as to perform them in the day. Enheduanna's poetry has a reflective quality of the divine muse, highlighting the artistic skill required for the compositions. Aside from poetry, other sources for Enheduanna's life have been discovered by archaeologists. These include 2 cylinder seals belonging to her servants, as said before, and an alabaster relief inscribed with her dedication. The disc of Enheduanna was discovered by British archaeologist Sir Charles Leonard Woolley and his team of excavators in 1927.
Being not only the earliest known poet in the world history, Enheduanna has received substantial attention in feminism at the International Women's Day in 2014. At a pre-launch event for Nainati International Literature Festival, hosted by the British Council in Erbil, Iraq. Oxford professor of ancient history, Eleanor Robson, described Enheduanna as a wish fulfillment figure, a marvelously appealing image. In the science television series, Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey, Enheduanna is the subject of the episode. She was voiced by Christiana Monpour. Her written praise of celestial deities has been recognized in the field of modern astronomy. In 2015, the International Astronomical Union named a crater on Mercury after Enheduanna, honoring her descriptions of stellar measurements and movements as possible early scientific observations. Her name was suggested by Gagan Tour, Indian space enthusiast, who is one of the winners of a NASA contest to name 5 new craters on Mercury. Crater means a bowl-shaped depression formed by the impact of a meteorite or bomb. Though there are doubts about her identification as the first poet and a high priestess, the historical record clearly indicates Enheduanna as the composer of ancient literary works, and this is undoubtedly an important aspect of the traditions surrounding her. Enheduanna continued to be remembered as an important figure after her death, perhaps even attaining semi-divine status.
Thank you for watching this video. Please like it, share it, and subscribe it. For more and more interesting topics, programs, and news, please visit our website, mamlabs.net. Presented by Media Alma Mater Labs. Mam Labs.